are replacements. The referee is David Crosby, one of the most promising young referees here from Hong Kong, an investigating officer, and he gets the game going, and Wales have kicked off. And it's in Derry, the big flank forward, who feeds it out to Serevi. Now Serevi is the playmaker, and you see there how he made it right away. And a great run here by Tampalutu. But an interception. That was Bridges trying to work the ball clear. Now fed out very well indeed from Nico. But going offside, and a penalty to Wales. And the Welsh played with so much hoil and spirit in that tie against the Australians that if all the Welsh support will be wondering if they can produce it once more. Big Steve Williams has fed it out. Aled Williams, Steve Williams going on inside the Fijian 22. And the put-in will go to the Welshman. And the Welshman is Aled Williams. Well, they don't want any more injuries because they've had a rotten time, really. Richie Collins there was injured, their most experienced player with 14 caps. And then Alan Reynolds got injured as well. And of course, those are the two flank forwards, the two props, as it were. And that's why they've been allowed, under the rules of the competition, to have Eric Paxson and John Jeffrey, number 3 here, John Jeffrey as the replacement. And I tell you, John Jeffrey, the White Shark, is so experienced in sevens that it might help the Welsh cause quite a lot if he was to be called on. The great problem for the Welsh, of course, is that they've got a whole lot of backs out there and really not enough forwards. Arthur Emir has gone out onto the left wing, and it looks as if Aled Williams is going off injured, and right enough John Jeffrey has come on, but that at least gives them a complement of 3 regular forwards, and that'll help the balance of the scrummaging at least. And so John Jeffrey, who's already played for the Scottish Border Club, and it's Bridges to Clement, Clement in the loop, Clement out to Arthur Emir, Emir is home, the first try for Wales in the semi-final, and a beautifully worked try, brought about by the marvellous loop. And of course the Welsh support are ecstatic. You can see the loop here by Clement, it was brilliantly taken. And then, of course, Emir was clear because Clement's loop had pulled in the wing and there was no stopping the big man from there. A lovely demonstration of loop play. And so it's given the Welshman a 4-point lead with just almost 3 minutes of the first half gone. 7 minutes each way. And Chris Bridges here, who's done all the goal kicking for Wales so far, 9 conversions. And they're getting into his double figures. And so a very good start indeed for Wales. A depleted Welsh side, but one, as I say, that must have been tremendously heartened by their performance, especially in the second half against the Wallabies. Still great conditions here. The crowd perhaps a little bit quieter than they've been certainly last season, but thoroughly enjoying some great competition. Tampalutu fed it out, and now it's along to Nandruku. Serevi is a little man. Oh, look at that. That sheer magic. And he stretches away beautifully, chased all the way by Stuart Parfitt. But Serevi scores a vital try indeed for the Fijians. They are so lackadaisical sometimes. And the crowd there just love seeing the Fijians play, especially when they play like this. You see, Serevi got it with his back initially to the Welsh, then the little dummy, then the kid on, then the change of pace, and suddenly he was out in the open prairie and gone. Just a little touch of sheer brilliance that makes this little lad such a joy to watch. Remember him playing so well on the Tour of Scotland just at the start of this season in November. And he's done all their goal kicking as well. And so he's really making a great haul, because that's his second try, and he's knocked over 12 conversions as well. Waisali Serevi, just 21 years old, the player of the tournament here just a year ago. And so it's up to the Welshmen again. They pulled back from behind against the Australians in magnificent fashion. Tony Clement restarts. Yes, there's the power of Tampalutu. Tambalutu feeding on there to Rauluni, and Rauluni gives it to the big man, Misaki Rasari. This is the big fellow who played as a lock forward for Fiji when they toured Scotland in November, and he scored 2 magnificent tries against Tonga in the previous match. And here he is again, giving the Fijians a handsome lead. If you watch here, it was the lovely feed on from Vesi Rauluni, and then the big man Rasari, who's 6'4" and almost 17 stones. But like a great 400 metres runner, there's just it's just a joy to see big men running like that. A super try. And so the Fijians, whose manager told me that he thought they were a pretty useful lot, Waisake Saukawa, and down there Richie Collins, who damaged the shoulder, and Ron Waldron, the new Welsh coach, and there's Eric Paxton all ready to go on if needed. Because it upsets a team when you have to make so many changes from their originals. Very unlucky, the Welshmen, to have injuries to those 2 key men. Anyway, Serevi, who likes to take his time. Lovely Welsh singing in the background, you'll hear it. And Serevi stroked it very calmly, but he's pulled it just a little. All the same, the Fijians leading 10 points to 6. They're almost up to half-time. And you feel that if the Fijians get another score, well, that might be it. Very difficult to lift yourself, as Wales will find after such a great performance. Tony Clement. Up there went Rauluni, nicely out from Rasari to Serevi. Here again, Nandruku. Nandruku to Thama. Thama, oh, look at this running. Vesi Rauluni back inside, taken by Tambalutu. Tambalutu feeds outside, but John Jeffrey was back to help. And there, as I say, the Fijian coach and their replacements are so delighted. And the great thing about the Fijians is, of course, that they look so lazy at times, and then suddenly they just erupt with the most gorgeous handling, and also with that beautifully sinuous running. Bridges. Yes, Clement couldn't do anything else there. He was being fiercely attacked by Tambalutu. And of course, the great Fijian element in New Zealand rugby as well. And of course, the Fijians, who are supposed not to like the close quarter stuff, they're certainly unceremonious here. Rasari feeds it on. And there again, Vesi Rauluni, big, powerful and strong. And he just brushed through a couple of tackles. You just watch how easy this was. Rasari got it, that's the big fellow. And then just watch Rauluni here. He felt the gap, and he is so big and strong that Steve Williams couldn't catch him either. And so the Fijians are stretching away. They've been in 6 finals here and won 4 of them. They're leading 14-6. And Serevi, with just a neat little chip, puts over that conversion. And so the Fijians really are stretching away. And it's going to take something special now for Wales to catch them. Half-time, 16-6. But still plenty of singing from the very big Welsh support. But just watch here again. You'll notice that he felt the space, and he was quite prepared to accept the tackles, but he'd got up so much momentum that there was just no stopping him at all. And so the Fijian element here, well, you can see how pleased they are. The support for all of the competing nations has been quite wonderful, and of course the local community here have great fun booing the New Zealanders and the Australians and the Americans, and then giving them the most handsome ovations as they leave the field after having played so well, as most of them do. And we're gradually coming towards the closing stages of this 15th tournament, and it has lived up to all its pre-match publicity and all the great hype. It is one of the great international events, a packed capacity crowd here, 28,000 of them, and a wonderful atmosphere to the whole affair. Second half starting, Fiji 10 points up, Serevi kicks off, and if ever Wales needed a quick score, it is now. Chris Bridges got a Neville bounce there, and he's right back on his own dead ball line. And that's the kind of tackling that the Fijians put in, and they got a try from it. The Welsh got totally unawares as the tackle went in. It really was a super one. Number 4 there, Vesi Rauluni, did the tackling. And then, if you watch here, the ball went loose from Chris Bridges. And there, the big lad Alferetti Nderi, who played flanker for Fiji on their tour of Scotland, he got the vital try. And so that really more or less seals it up for the Fijians. 20 points to 6 they lead Wales. And quite obviously, that great performance in the previous round against the Australians has taken an awful lot of the Welsh spirit out of their performance. And of course they've been struggling for ball. A matter of losing 2 key forwards. Serevi once again quite calm about taking his time. Oh, he's hit a very good shot, it just squeezed in. But what another super kick by this little fella. He could well be in the running for the player of the tournament again, because he is a joy to watch. And so it's 22 points to 6 for Fiji, and this semi-final tie drifting away into a handsome win. Clement gets it going again. And that's the last thing he really wanted, because the Fijians are quite happy to ask for another kick because it takes a little bit longer. They could have had the scrummage, of course, and the scrummage has looked fairly good. And there, the big man there in the middle is Nico, who a 26-year-old Navy man who plays wing for Fiji. He's the replacement at the moment, knocked back by Rasari. And here they come again. The long kick downfield by Tampalutu. Tampalutu chasing, and Rasari is after it as well, Misaka Rasari. And it took Arthur Remier to get all the way back there to clear. And the Welsh lads, not surprisingly tired. You could see what an awkward ball it was. And this was Misaka Rasari, the lock forward, who went down for it, but Arthur Remier just beat him to it. This is very close indeed there to the Welsh line. Nicely away from Tampalutu, but a loud blast feeding his own feet. And David Crosby, who's earned great plaudits for his refereeing here yesterday and today, formerly of Boroughmuir and the Nottinghamshire Constabulary. And Clement, little chip, trying to find space. Back goes Tomasi Thama. Arthur Emir has it, and Emir will run. Big Steve Williams is with him. Williams over the Fijian 10 metres line. He's taking them on, looking for the support. John Jeffrey was there. Noah Nandruku has intercepted. And this could be another score as Serevi goes. Oh, beautiful handling in there, and it's Thama who scores. Tomasi Thama, the 29-year-old, who's already scored 4 tries. And there he ducks down another one that really seals a handsome Fijian victory. As soon as the breakout here happened from Nandruku, and Serevi, you see him looking around, surveying the options, and he picked the right one, because Thama came behind him so beautifully, changed the angle of his run, and well, he was absolutely away and in the clear. So 26 points to 6 for the Fijians from that try there by Thama. They played just 4 minutes, so there's time for plenty more. And Serevi, who really is building up his scoring total, I tell you, what's that now? 2 tries and 15 conversions. 16 in fact. So he's having a great time. Played for the Fijian B team just as a 17-year-old Waisali Serevi. Clement again. Well, that's the second time Tony Clement has put it out in the full, and of course it's the last thing that Wales would want at this moment. They'll want a try just to send their supporters away in a happier frame of mind. But there's no doubt that those Welshmen did give their supporters one of the most joyous moments in the previous round when they beat the fancied Australians. And the Fijians have just dominated possession throughout. Nandruku there, Serevi. Aha. Tomasi Thama decided it was a bit too far to start running, so he's hoofed it. And he's almost going to make it again. Arthur Emir is the fellow who has to tear back. He's lost it. Thama, I think, will score his second try of the tie. And this has been so easy for the Fijians that it's really been quite embarrassing. The second try for the 29-year-old. And the Fijians really are building up their tries. They'd scored 17 before this tie, and this one here, well, it was his own long kick. He got there when Emir went down, and, well, as easy as that. 32-6. And so the Fijians are going to enter their sixth final here. Those dusky farmers with the India rubber limbs, representing some 600 clubs, just 11,000 players. And when you consider that, this and others have been a great performance by them. Sereve didn't hit it right, but it doesn't matter about that because it's gone over. And so it is a cakewalk, as they say. 34 points to 6. We've almost come to the 7 minutes. Referee David Crosby might feel like blowing now to ease the punishment. Clement again. Well, he got his kick off a bit better that time, and Bridges feeds. Parfit to Clement. Arthur Emir now. Can Emir bring the Welsh support to its feet? He is big and strong. He's willing. Great tackle by Misaki Rasari, the lock forward. Penalty for not allowing him to release the ball. The tackle player must give him a chance to release it and get to his feet as well. Bridges to Clement. Referee waiting for advantage. He didn't think the Fijians had retired the 10 metres, but it doesn't matter in any case because the Fijians are through to their